Racism is bad, unless of course if it is against space aliens, in which case, I'm doing my part. There's something strangely cathartic about fighting in a sci-fi setting where the enemies are inhuman, diplomacy is a war crime, and your side wears matching armor and quotes holy texts before lunch. And yet, this kind of genre, the dystopian fascist militarized sci-fi hellhole, is absolutely beloved by its fans. Franchises like Warhammer span content across decades, with zero sign of slowing down. There's a specific recurring fantasy that keeps pulling us back in. One galaxy, one cause, one enemy, and all that with zero moral ambiguity to slow us down. For Super Earth, one thing common to most of these worlds is the perpetual conflict humanity is doomed to live in. And strangely enough, they have an almost magnetic pull. People want to immerse themselves in the endless chaos of galactic war. But why? These stories give you permission. Permission to hate, to fight, to destroy. And don't you worry, brother, Spacebook says good. Real life? Messy. Morals? Confusing. Everyone's got a side, a nuance, a tragic backstory. But in a grimdark future, the aliens have claws, the machines have no hearts, and the hive wants to eat ya. Problem solved. It's the ultimate fantasy of justified violence. It's catharsis, neatly packaged in sci-fi armor and delivered with an orbital strike. Franchises like Helldivers and Starship Troopers know exactly what they're doing. You don't play as some conflicted soldier wrestling with trauma and questioning the ethics of interplanetary war. Of course not, that's like some bullshit nerd stuff. Instead, you're a cog in a beautiful, shining propaganda machine bringing managed democracy to hostile aliens with a flamethrower. The game knows it's ridiculous, and so do you. That's the point, that is the fun, and it is absolutely beautiful. One of the strongest emotional tools in this genre is the use of propaganda statics, military anthems, glorious slow-mo. Hype speeches about unity and sacrifice is the same strategy used by real-world regimes. But in these games and movies, we get to enjoy it without guilt. Would you like to know more? It was meant to be a satire, but it works because it taps into something primal. It carries an emotional weight, not for what it shows, but for what it reveals about us. Deep down, we crave purpose, that immaculate certainty you rarely get in real life. At the end of the day, we want someone to hand us a flag and a rifle and say, "For mankind, for the Federation!" And the enemies, they don't get a shred of empathy, those clanker fucks. The bugs, they don't talk. The tyrannids, they don't cry. But boy do they bleed real good when you swing that chainsword. You can't negotiate with something that wants to assimilate your DNA and lay eggs in your head. You can feel bad about firebombing a swarm that exists solely to devour planets. I mean, it's not even murder at this point, it's pest control, but with style. These are the kinds of stories where you never had the time to ask stupid questions like, "Are we the baddies?" Or even worse dumbass questions like, "Is nuking an entire planet out of existence maybe a crime against nature?" To stupid questions like those, all I can answer is, "You bug-kissing, clanker-hugging, chaos-worshipping, miserable excuse for a human being!"
Fate, I'm begging you!
Now here's the twist. These aren't just power fantasies, they're clarity fantasies. They reflect a quiet longing for a world that makes sense, where enemies are obvious, where loyalty is noble and honor matters, where you know what to do, and the only question is how many bullets you'll need to enforce the will of the Holy Emperor wherever chaos lurks. It's not actually about fascism or even racism, it's about belonging. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself, even if that something is a morally dubious government built on blood, steel, lies, manipulation and destruction, where every citizen is treated like cattle for the meat grinder while the rich and powerful... My point is, there is comfort in that, even if it's not real. Weird, explosive, bullet-filled, nuclear-powered comfort. And we love it. But of course, not everyone gets the joke. Some fans genuinely believe that the Imperium is a model government. Some post Helldivers recruitment ads without a single trace of irony. And that's where things get messy, because the line between mocking fascist aesthetics and celebrating them is razor thin. And this is very troublesome and stuff, but consider this more pressing matter though. When children eating stupid ass bugs throw a giant rock from outer space to wipe your whole planet off the map, does any of this nerd bullshit even matters anymore? I mean, what the hell are you gonna do about it? Throw a human rights book back at them? Because I'm gonna use a gun. And if that don't work, I'll use more gun. So, what are we really enjoying when we chant, "For Super Earth" or "For the Emperor"? Maybe it's not the war itself, maybe it's the simplicity, the unity, the sense of being on a righteous crusade in a world that just this once makes total sense. And yes, it helps that the aliens are ugly, mean, and explode real good. So next time you call in an orbital strike on a group of bugs just trying to defend their home planet, take a second. Think. Ask yourself, is this even necessary? I mean, look at those faces, those buggy eyes. What are you even trying to achieve here? then realize that you're actually going to need 6 of those. After all, it's the only way to be sure.